What if there was a show about traveling to parallel worlds, the same year, the same Earth, only different dimensions? A world where the Russians ruled America, or where your dreams of being a superstar came true, or where San Francisco was a maximum security prison. We started a podcast talking about it, inviting some friends to join us. Now we hope you all come along for the ride.
Hello everybody and welcome to Fandom Entanglement. Today we are doing our retro review of Sliders, Season 2, Episode 3, El Cid. And I'm Mike Bloxam. I'm here with my co-host Damon Sugameli.
Hello everybody. If I am a little coughing sometimes, it's because I'm still getting over a really bad cold, so excuse me, but can't be helped.
We'll forgive you. And
yeah.
Today we have a returning guest, Aaron Moss.
Hello.
Welcome back,
Welcome
Aaron.
back, Aaron.
Thank you for having me back.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people make that mistake. I mean,
and today we've also got our special guest new to us, Will Pleasant, aka Mr. Pleasant TV. Welcome, Will.
Hey y'all! Hey Fandom Entanglement. I don't know what makes me special, but I appreciate joining y'all. Let's talk about some sliders. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Aaron, I mean, I don't know. Aaron, you wanted to? I don't know if you want to just remind everybody again because you've been with us before. So I don't know if you want to just we'll go to you first and then.
Okay.
Will, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I know you from the wife and I do a show called the Starbright Project, which is currently on hold because of life, and my daughter's in the band, and my wife made the stupid mistake of volunteering to be the band booster president. So we've been busy with that. So we've kind of had a hold on that. Plus, we're kind of figuring what we're doing with the show. Basically, the show stars me and her. I watched the show Quantum Leap since it first came out. And I've watched it, numerous times. This is her first time watching it. And then we had Hayden McQueenie from the Quantum Leap podcast join us also, who's also seen it numerous times. Mm-hmm. And so we were doing that with, her fresh take on it. And then they blessed us with a season 6 and 7, as I call it. So we had a hold on what we were doing and was watching the new show. And Michelle's not as happy with that one as she was the original. So we may be going back to the original, but we're kind of revamping, figure what we're doing at this point. So it's kind of on hold right now with band and figure out what we're doing with the show exactly.
Yeah.
But then I have several other shows on my Headcast Network. It's all available at headcast.headspeaks.com. My main show is Head Speaks, where I talk about comic books, TV shows, anything geeky. My other big show is G.I. Joe, a Real American Headcast, which has 3 parts to it. The main show, I talk about the comic book and the cartoon from the 80s. Bravo team, we talk about anything else G.I. Joe related. Right now we're covering the special missions, which ran alongside G.I. Joe. And then I've got a third portion of the show, which is the Energon Protocols. Renegade Studios released a G.I. Joe role-playing game that me and some friends are playing online. So I record those because I have a podcasting addiction. And I release those as episodes of my show. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Plus we've got a couple of others. Some are ending, some I'm going to be starting soon. So it's all available at headcast.headspeaks.com.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
So your turn, Will. You're the new guy here. Yeah.
I'm the new one. I'll try to make what I do sound exciting. I've been 15 years in education, currently a high school counselor. I've been doing that for about 10 years, looking for the next step in the principalship. So simple fan of the sliders. Don't have a website, don't have any of that. You can't find me at Mr. Pleasant TV everywhere. I deleted my TikTok because I thought it was over. So I'm one of those. I'm one of those that I have to wait till it gets back in the App Store. But I do like making funny videos and just going into the comments and motivate people. Everyone's my student. You do something great, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you out on it and say you're doing a great job. Like my kings here, Damon and Mike, doing their thing with this podcast. So definitely excited to be here.
Oh yeah. Thanks a lot. Yeah,
thanks, Will.
We're glad to have you. Yeah. Didn't you say that you had some kind of podcasting that you did though too, or?
Yes, I've dabbled in it a little bit with my wife. You can find us at A Pleasant Love. We talk about relationships and things like that. We kind of took a little break as we focused on some our health and focused on some other things. But eventually, we know we're gonna get back. But so you can find me on there with my wife as well. A Pleasant Love everywhere.
Nice. All right. I added this in the notes, Mike, because we haven't been doing this. I wanted to start doing this season. I think everybody who comes on has to do their best Sliders whisper. Slider.
I practiced.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
But you want to go first, Will?
All right. Let's hear it.
Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. Sliders.
All right. All right, Aaron. Can you beat
Aaron,
that?
you want to try it?
Sliders.
Ooh, that's like a nice and quick. That was like
You got it.
All right.
yeah, and Will, so you've been watching it since like the beginning, basically, too. Like I think I asked this of everybody when they first come on.
I watched it when it was first on when it first aired on.
Yeah,
I think it was on Fox back in '90. Well, yeah, I watched it first airing and
Was it 95 or something?
95.
Yeah, 95.
I watched it a couple times since on other places, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I watched it too. It was kind of hit and miss because I think I was like 5th grade, so I didn't really understand. I didn't really understand seasons and syndication and all that stuff. So like if it was on, I caught it, and then of course I got older. I started understanding DVR and TiVo. So I was like, all right, let me actually watch this show, and then got the sci-fi, and I was like, this is not the same show I watched.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
All right.
glad to have you guys on. So you want to take us in, Mike?
Yeah, let's go. So, again, we're doing Season 2, Episode 3, El Cid. Original air date was March 29, 1996. From the DVDs, while the Sliders wait to leave a world of violence, Quinn saves a woman from her criminal boyfriend, Sid. Sid that goes after Vortex, where they all arrive on a world where San Francisco is a maximum security prison. So we have our regular recurring cast. Jerry O'Connell as Quinn Mallory, Sabrina Lloyd as Wade Wells, Clavant Derricks as Rembrandt Crying Man Brown, and John Rhys-Davies as Professor Maximilian Arturo. And this time around, we've got quite a few guest stars. Of course, the big one being Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Sid. Damon, did you want to go through your side note here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anybody else wanted to chime in with that. I mean, you were a big fan of Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Aaron, right? So I don't know if you wanted to.
Yes.
I mean, I'll just say it here. Like, I mean, us sci-fi fans, like, I don't think we need any introduction to him because he's got so many credits in TV, movies. The most notable is probably Negan in The Walking Dead. That's like the most current thing, I think. Not that I ever saw Grey's Anatomy, but he was in that as somebody named Denny. I know he had a regular role on that show.
You never watched it.
I know that's where I think maybe he's kind of started really building up his name or something from that show. And then he's in Supernatural, right? Is it?
Yeah, he played the father.
Oh, John Winchester, right?
Yeah, Dee and Sam's father.
Right. And he was the comedian in the Watchmen movie.
Yep.
So, and he was also uncredited as Thomas Wayne in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. I looked up beforehand. He was in an episode of Star Trek Enterprise. He's in one episode of Monk. And he's done so many other things. Yeah. So,
Fun fact.
He's definitely the big name in this episode. Yeah.
Fun fact about his appearance in Enterprise, he was Xindi Xindi Reptilian, and apparently the makeup was such an arduous task that it almost made him quit acting. Like after that role, he could,
Really?
yeah. Luckily, he didn't. We're glad he's still around and still still working.
Yep.
But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I guess it was a bit grueling to go through the 5 or 6 hours of makeup and then have to wear it for
I'm sure.
all the shooting.
Right.
And so our other guest stars include Rebecca Chambers as Michelle, Claude Brooks as LJ, and Jed Dixon, Leo, or the custodian. Our episode here was written by Jon Povill and directed by Paris Barclay. And the worlds visited, as designated by EarthPrime.com, are Battlefield Earth and Prison World, both rather apt names.
Yeah, I love those arbitrary names that come up with.
Yeah. Well, they're good descriptors.
Yeah. So, before we get into the, the first impressions of everything, so this was according to EarthPrime.com. I'm not sure where we got the one for Battlefield Earth, or if they just made this up. I don't know where this, because it was so quickly, but this is like pretty much verbatim. Battlefield Earth's history deviated sharply in the 1980s when a massive war took out a huge chunk of the United States. San Francisco is in tatters, and it doesn't look like the government is doing anything to rebuild it. It doesn't look like locals care anyway. It seems as good of a description as any. I don't know where that came from, if he just made it up or it was in a script. I don't know. But it seems, I guess that works.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then, but I mean, we do know pretty much from the prison world thing that it's because of the seismic stability of the San Francisco Peninsula. It's a term that it couldn't be maintained much longer. So the federal government, and mostly likely in conjunction with state government, walled off a huge section of the city and made it a prison. And a massive earthquake is due any day that experts say will sink the peninsula into the Pacific Ocean. So that does seem pretty like, if earthquake, I mean, I've heard this like all my life, that they say eventually California is going to fall into the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
sorry, Aaron. I know.
See, what's going to fall off at is to the west of me, so I should have oceanfront property once it happens. That's what I'm
So you're like Lex Luthor.
Yes.
Ackman's Lex Luthor. Okay.
I need everything west of me to slide off into the ocean, and that way I have oceanfront property. Like, property values are going to skyrocket.
Oh, okay. Oh, then you're going to be set for life. Okay. All right. So let's get into what we thought about this. Will, you're the newcomer. Why don't you go first with this?
Well, I the very first note I wrote, it was just listening to that theme. I've been listening to your podcast for a while. I never actually went back and rewatched all of the episodes. So rewatching it and hearing that theme, I think I played it about 4 or 5 times. And then I watched the other themes, and I was like, no, it's like season two. Season 2 is I feel like they have the best thing, the guitar riff, and I'm not a musician, but whatever else they had on there, it was just good.
You like season 2 the best? Okay.
Season 2, yeah. It's like after a while, it went. I feel like it was trying to make it more sci-fi or more darker. I didn't like it, but yeah, season 2 was the best. But yeah, I remember this episode actually. I know everyone had different opinions, but I remember it kind of scaring me. The whole idea that a whole city or states fall in the ocean, and then everything was a prison. Yeah, I was a little scared. So I was like, okay, it kind of creeped me out a little bit. Of course, I appreciate. I started to appreciate more quality television when I got a little older, but I accepted what I had at that time. And I was like, okay, so I'm just going to get shot because I lost curfew or things like that. I hope I didn't jump too far in. But yeah, it's just like, so I do remember that kind of that feeling coming back as a kid, like, oh, crap. Nah. Let me be on my best behavior so I don't get sent to this prison.
Yeah. All right. What about you, Aaron?
Aaron.
Yeah, no, great episode. It kind of mixes Escape from L.A. or Escape from New York with what they've been saying about California for decades, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
We're going to fall off into the ocean, so just kind of mix that both up, and
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't realize I had seen Jeffrey Dean Morgan here until I rewatched it. Because I know him best from, as you mentioned, from both Walking Dead and Thomas Wayne and the Comedian from Watchmen. Where and then John Winchester. But then when I rewatched it, oh crap! I forgot about that. Yes. So yeah, and he's very much he's Jeffrey Dean Morgan and whatever he does.
It's the same guy.
Which isn't a bad thing. He's got that voice, and just that way he walks and talks is just memorable.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I mean, speaking of that, I mean, what I will say is I can tell he's starting out in this. He's still good, but I can tell he's not quite as experienced as he is now. Or maybe it's just the script he's working with or whatever. But like you said, he's still what do we call him for short? JDM. He's still there, and
he's still finding himself, but
and this is another episode I feel like I liked it better when I first saw it, and I'm watching it now. I'm like, I can see some pacing issues with it. There's some things that could have been worked on with the script. I mean, it's still a good episode, but maybe not. I don't like it quite as much as I thought I did. That's what I'll say about that. And yeah, it's basically Escape from New York is what this is. Yeah.
Right.
And the other thing is just Michelle just really got on my nerves after a while. The character, I was getting to the point where I just really want to say, you know what, leave her behind, please.
Both times.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
Like, just go.
Yeah.
If they would have left your time behind the first time, that would have solved a lot of their problems.
Yes.
But,
I know.
Yeah. It's funny. I have zero recollection of this episode, even though it's mentioned throughout the season 2 intro. But I found the first thing that hit me after I finished watching it was it didn't have as much humor as most of the other episodes. It was very much a drama-based, action-based episode. So it kind of was missing that, I think, in a way. But it was an interesting turn of events going from this battlefield Earth and then bringing 2 people from that world along with them to the next. So we get to see not just the regular sliders figure out this new dimension, but also 2 people who followed them from battlefield Earth. So it's different. It's nice. It's a nice touch. But from what I understand, it was actually a little bit short on content originally, so they had to stretch out some of the scenes and put in some filler, but I think that made the flow feel a little slow at times, but overall it was, I think, still an enjoyable episode.
Oh, you could definitely tell those fillers. I was like,
yeah.
Is there anything else you're going to do?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be a whole jail.
Yeah.
There's a lot more.
Yeah. All right. So I guess all the things that we want to talk about.
Let's do the walkthrough.
Start off, Mike.
I'll start off. The leather jacket that he's wearing. Immediately, I went, "Oh, that's Negan's jacket." Like, did they reuse the same one on The Walking Dead? It's just it's the same costume. He's just missing Lucille.
Yeah.
I was waiting to just for him to pull out that bat. Like, we're just getting started.
Yeah.
That's like the only. I feel like I don't know what kind of nerd I am that I really do not watch The Walking Dead. I know about Negan. I've seen things, but like I've reached a point in my life where I can't take the gore anymore. So I'm like, I don't know what happened, but like I can't watch stuff like that anymore.
You get old, Damon.
I guess. I don't know. I want to watch.
Zombies are played out now. It's like vampires. Like, all right, they've done it over 50, 60 years.
Yeah, and I'd have to watch it by myself. Amada hates zombies. She can't stand them. She is scared of them. Even though she did a thing where teaching Thrill the World with zombies, actually, like, doing the Michael Jackson Thriller. It's like, but you danced it, but like, no, she is scared of actual zombies, and yeah. So
I watched all 11 seasons of The Walking Dead. So
Oh wow!
I stuck it out to the end.
Oh wow!
Yeah, my wife dropped off around
I lasted one.
season 7, I think. It was same as you, Damon. She couldn't take the gore anymore. But yeah,
Is that when they introduced Negan?
He was before
way
that.
later.
Oh,
It's just
later.
after season 7, she was like, "No, you can keep watching it.
Okay.
I'm done." So I did. But
Do you watch any of the new stuff?
no, I haven't yet. I kind of want to see there because there's one where Negan and Maggie go to New York City or something, and yeah, I just learned about that scrolling through his credits. I didn't know it existed. So,
Oh yeah.
and then there's the other one that apparently
I watched
what's that, Aaron?
I watched the first season of the Daryl Dixon one. I guess it ran 3 seasons. The first season's on Netflix. I watched that one.
Okay.
Where Daryl is in Paris.
I didn't know there were so many.
And then there's
spin-offs.
3 seasons already?
Yeah, I guess that's what. Yeah, it says there's 3 seasons of that.
Wow.
Yeah, the first one's on Netflix. I watched that, and I've got queued up to watch I forget the name of it, the one with Rick.
Oh, The Ones Who Live.
Michonne. I got that. I've got that on my Netflix queue to watch next. So.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Yeah. Back to sliders.
or Negan.
Yeah.
Back to sliders.
Switch it back over.
No, these tangents, they're awesome. That's part of the fun.
Yeah.
Well, I'll jump in.
Yeah.
I talked about so help me recollect here. We've had a car go in there, Rembrandt's vehicle.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had a
Red
dog.
sled.
We had the homeboy at luck of the draw.
Ryan.
Now,
Yeah.
so I guess we're about 4, 5, 6 extra people in that portal, and everything seems to just come out so easily. I know later on we kind of finally see their perspective going through the Einstein Rose, whatever it's called, bridge.
Yeah.
And it just seems like everyone just comes out so easily, except our actual main characters. Everyone, feet first, head first.
Yeah.
That's right.
But then everyone else, the car comes out smooth. The dog just jumps out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get dizzy just chasing my dog when there's something inside of his mouth. And I know I'm going to get dizzy traveling between parallel worlds. So I wish they did a better job of like showing like, hey, like, okay, what the bleep was that? What did I just fly through? Like, wouldn't that freak you out first before you just jump? Forget the world. What did I just travel through?
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, we're here. I mean, yeah, I'll say that too. It does seem it seemed weird that it really didn't face it at all. It's like
No.
right before, he's getting that gun out before it even it was just about closing right as he's getting ready to
Yeah.
kill him. So
I'll be throwing up. Like,
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
The episode title, I found out, is a play on the name of El Cid, C-I-D, who was a Castilian knight and a ruler in medieval Spain, which I guess I don't know my European history, but
Yeah.
I had to look that up. There's no connection to the storyline. They just chose a guy named and decided.
I think we're just coming up with a clever title. Yeah. I guess so. Yeah.
Best they could do at the point. Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And Wade says they're there for 26 hours, right?
Yep.
So that was
a Bajoran day.
And, a Bajoran. I don't remember that, but yeah, okay. Bajoran day, okay. Yeah, and then they obviously Sid and Michelle, they either don't exist on this world or they're doing something else. They never met LJ because LJ clearly doesn't recognize him because he's like, I don't know you, buddy. Right?
Yeah, good point.
But you would think Sid is a criminal. You would think he would be in jail.
Yeah. Right.
Unless
you would think unless he died or
or maybe he took a different path in this life and he's actually a good guy in this world.
He's a goody two shoe. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe he's the president. Maybe he's the one that declared San Francisco prison.
I can see that. I can see that.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a good point you made there, David, because it wasn't until I did my second watch that I noticed that LJ was briefly in the first world being told by Sid to stay in the truck. I didn't catch that till the second
Very
time
quick.
around. But, so
very quick.
It was.
Well,
very
then what's her
blink in the-
face?
Mhm.
Michelle was telling him, was telling the Sliders not to trust LJ. I don't know this one, but the one from our world is, you can't trust him, and he's
yeah,
a backstabber.
later
He
on.
said that
yeah.
much later, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Say it a little earlier, like, hey, I can't trust that. You wouldn't want to trust. I would say the first 5 seconds, I wouldn't trust him.
Yeah.
Even Arturo says something about, we don't have much of a choice, though. He's the only one who seems to be looking out for us.
Right.
What's Rembrandt say?
right.
He seems pretty oily.
Oh yeah.
He had the best lines.
Yeah.
So, laugh at that.
Oh yeah, you laughed at that. Yeah, that was a good one.
You laugh at that.
Sorry, but we were talking about the portal. I meant to also mention there. I thought it was weird how the portal stayed open extra long and none of them noticed or thought to stick around to make sure it closed. Okay, so I'm not the only one who thought that was weird.
That thing was open for a while.
Yeah, usually it closes pretty quick after they come through. Yeah, this time it's, half an hour later, it's just...
Yeah, and normally they stay put until it closes. They're standing there or getting up back on their feet, and it closes before they leave the scene.
Yeah.
And this time they just wander off, and I feel like they still could have had Sid come out and attack Quinn without that extra 30 seconds of the portal whirring while they just saunter up the steps.
Well, because show.
I know. Sorry, it's just a little nitpick. That's all. Didn't ruin my enjoyment. But.
No, that was always one of my gripes all 5 seasons. That you can never. Sometimes it was 1 second. Sometimes it was 5 hours. Like when that portal's going to close. I guess build tension or something.
Right.
Yeah, I know. It's coming up. Jillian of the Spirits is really guilty of that. That thing stays open for like 3 minutes. We're going to get to that soon, but that's...
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then the second
really
portal was up.
That's really noticeable. And it is interesting. You can kind of see Arturo is like... I don't know if he's struggling, but he is really dumbing down that explanation because he's like talking slowly. That tunnel took us here, in other worlds, and because I guess he probably just isn't. He didn't seem very bright anyway. So
I don't think he cared.
Really
he just
and he did
he
say
was so focused on Quinn. I'm sorry, he was so focused on Quinn. I don't think he really cared.
Yeah.
That boy was wanting to kill. He wanted to kill Quinn bad.
Yeah. But he did say they've been to about 20 or 30 different San Franciscos. So there had to have been some that definitely had to have been some we haven't seen at this point in between episodes. Because this is what our review number 12, 13, I don't know which one it is.
12,
I'm a little behind on stuff as of the time we're recording this. So. Yeah, so there definitely have been some that we haven't seen.
Then we got stuff out of production order, so we don't know what.
Good point.
We're supposed to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing about this show that's compared to like with Quantum Leap, where each episode kind of led into each other. Yeah. This one here, you don't really usually see where they go to for the next episode, so they can say, "Well, we got 3 other worlds between this episode." So yeah, things could have happened off scenes that we didn't see.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they definitely tried doing that in the beginning, but that, Fox kind of proved that, like, we're not going to let you do that. Like,
no one cares. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We would not be watching the show weekly if we didn't care.
Yes.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Yeah. So Amada pointed out that that geodesic, is that how you geodesic dome? It kind of looks like Spaceship Earth at Epcot.
Yes.
So she's like, "Oh, look, it's Epcot." I'm like, "Oh, you're right. It's like the big golf ball."
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure it's in Vancouver. And if anybody knows where it is, I tried looking it up. I couldn't find it. Put it in the comments. I'm curious to see what what it is, and what the large fountain was. It was in another part of the complex. They show it shoot up when they're
Oh yeah,
inside.
right.
It's, but on the dome, I was confused by Arturo's comment about it being architectural hubris, because geodesic domes. He says a geodesic dome built in an earthquake zone. Just imagine keeping the water out of that surface. I didn't understand what he was trying to say there.
Yeah.
He kind of chuckles to himself, like it's really funny.
Yeah,
But
he laughed.
Yeah, Rembrandt was like, okay.
but like geodesic domes are good for surviving earthquakes. But what does that have to do with keeping water out? Because they're also good at that. So I'm not sure where the aspect of hubris came into there. So if someone could explain the joke to me, I'd love that too.
Yeah, hubris is like a pride type thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like your ego. That's
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, I don't think it was Rembrandt. I think that was Clavant reacting. Like I don't.
Yeah.
To what he said, I was like, okay, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that could have been. I thought it was the professor chuckling at his own joke, but yeah, you're right. Maybe it was Remy.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. Why are you telling me? You talk to Quinn about this stuff.
Right.
Like I don't know. She's
Yeah. I did like those. They spread them out throughout. You kept seeing all those signs all over the place. Like we appreciate you choose not to stand in the same place for a long period. And
while
that
Quinn sits down,
and that robotic female voice coming from the loudspeaker. She's like, "Don't litter. You'll be very sorry. Like, please keep moving. The life you saved me be your own." Like, that's funny. Those are like the humor moments there. Where it's like that's still sliders right there when they're throwing stuff like that in.
Yeah, true enough.
Yeah, very much so.
When they pass the dome is when they're on the way to check in, and LJ gives the carton of cigarettes to the receptionist there to kind of speed up their one night stay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think
just
after
going
that,
through the whole thing,
after that is when they're in there and you're seeing these signs and hearing the voice, and then they're in that hotel lobby, I guess, and
right.
Yeah.
That's
and
when
the buddy system thing, right? Yeah, and they do the bracelets, right? At this point with the buddy bracelets and all that stuff.
Yeah. And Sid chokes Quinn to the wall, and
right.
That boy should have passed out. I think I wrote that down. I was like, I tried it myself. I think I lasted like 3 seconds. Like,
well, don't hurt
how long he held him. I'm like, Quinn has a thick neck, because I would.
Yeah,
he should have been passed out. How long he was holding it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's like, get this. I'm your only way out of here, or something like that.
Yeah,
you shouldn't even be able to talk.
Yeah.
Well, that's when Arturo starts getting, I think, authentically angry, saying, we wouldn't be in this mess if it wasn't for your quixotic bravado or something like that. And then Wade's telling him to lay off. That's not helping. But I mean, Arturo's got a point. If Quinn hadn't gotten so involved, they wouldn't be in this mess. But also now's not the time to probably be arguing about it. So it was some good.
I would say.
Yeah, well, this is all that storyline that they've been doing for season 2, where they're what was I saying? I said it beforehand. It's the dissension in the ranks.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This is kind of what they've been like building up to for. I think this was supposed to be like the storyline for the season, is that it's this hint that there may be a schism in the group, which kind of is really set up later with the whole Arturo thing, but which we will get to. And then and then Michelle is like basically saying, it thinks Arturo is Quinn's father. That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
His father over there.
Yeah.
My father?
Yeah.
Father?
Well, he's old enough to be, so
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought he was his father too. How he was talking to him.
Yeah. Oh, so that's where it is. So they're explaining the buddy system, and we're seeing it in action when he basically shoots that poor guy, the Leo, the custodian.
Yeah,
shooting that other guy. And then, like, right after that, you hear another announcement saying, "Remember, the custodians are your friends. We all live here together."
Yeah.
I mentioned it later on that he didn't really do a good job hiding that bracelet. I'm like, if you're trying to hide
Right.
it, wouldn't you take? He would try to cover it up. He would just walk in the middle of the courtyard, showing it off.
Right.
Well, I was thinking that comment over the speaker might have been another hint that the custodians are also capable of, criminality within the prison. Because you already see it a bit there with LJ and Leo, but we see it in a much bigger scale later on.
Leo.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're all in here together.
Yeah.
Well, that means if there is the big earthquake, that means these custodians are going out with the prisoners, right? That's
right. So it's like maybe they're like a little resentful of that, or I mean, they're basically like sacrificing themselves, right? It's like,
so it makes you wonder what kind of compensation they're getting, or if they're just prisoners who've been elevated to the.
I think that's why I read it as
maybe
prisoners. It's just been they've been I guess model prisoners, if you will.
Okay.
And they've been given the special privileges, and they're allowed, be a little more forceful with everybody and get away with it, and because they're going to be in prison anyway, so they might as well make the best of the bad situation.
Right.
Definitely.
I
saw that too.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Okay. Yeah, because the other guy is that guy got killed and he didn't do anything. He was just like, well, it's because your buddy committed the crime.
Yeah.
That's what Wade commented on. So it was like, that's how they keep everybody in line. And of course, we know that Sid isn't going to follow any of those rules. He doesn't care about any of that.
It kind of reminded me of another movie, Demolition Man, with Wesley Snipes, when he came in that society that was supposed to be perfect and just wreaked havoc. They had to get Sylvester Stallone.
Stallone, Sandra Bullock,
to take him out.
So that's when. So our Quinn is with LJ. That's when we finally get that reveal, which isn't really much of a reveal, that San Francisco is a maximum security prison. I feel like they should have realized that. I don't know.
Yeah.
How did they not get that?
I agree.
With all the clues that were there.
I think the movie. I'm sorry. I think the show would have took a better direction if it was some. I mean, there's many episodes where you figure it out real quick, like this world's about to explode because of a comment. I think if they would have figured it out early, and then they could focus on that, they wouldn't have to take all that long time to try to hide it and all that stuff. It would have been more the show probably would have been more focused.
Yeah.
See, I think they just didn't realize it was a prison. I think they just thought it was just a very totalitarian ruled world, and everyone was like this. They didn't realize it was just San Francisco. Was the only place like this.
Right.
Is what I took out of it. It's not that they knew it was a very, not government ran, but very totalitarian. I guess is the only word I think I can think of, that they just thought it was just that was the government that was running it, not necessarily they were in a prison.
Right. Because Arturo says something about
running in a whole city.
It reminded him of Singapore or Switzerland. And then Remy says, yeah, except I don't like getting caned for littering or something to that effect. So
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's when they have that discussion. So that's what I was like alluding to, that like they've been kind of leaning into this thing, like, well, like Arturo and Rembrandt are going off to the side having this little discussion without Wade and Quinn. Like, we need to talk with the others about the Sids and the Michelles and, as we said, Mr. Mallory's penchant for chaotic rescue or
quixotic,
something like that. Right? Yeah. I'm assuming that's like Don Quixote, right? Like that's right.
Yeah.
Like having the Don Quixote complex of coming into somebody's rescue. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But he's saying that as if they do this all the time, and it's like we need to like. It's almost like he's saying like this is a problem that we need to take care of. But it's like, but even Rembrandt makes that point that like, oh, was he supposed to let him cave her head in? He's like, no, of course not.
Yeah.
But and then they talk about that Hetty explains all the things with the vortex and the more people we take with us.
Right.
Yeah. Spread jam across the universe.
Yeah. Well, I found that.
Like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I found it really curious that Arturo was explaining it was originally calibrated for 3 people, and he says it seems to be handling the 4 of them quite well, but of course the exponential increase of catastrophic failure with each additional body. But I was wondering if that 4th person, i.e. Remy plus his car, were the reason they couldn't get back home. That I never thought of that before. That is without the help of the sorcerer.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that, and he messed with the timer like he wasn't supposed to. That's one thing I remember in the original. The other Quinn warned him, as he was getting sucked away, not to mess with the timer, not to adjust it or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it is something to think about, because it's like they kind of hinted that that's what happened in Quantum Leap 2022. It's like Ben was gonna go home, but then he messed around with stuff, and it got something happened in the finale, but it caused it to not work anymore. So it was like, so maybe that's a good point. I mean, but they didn't seem to make that big of a deal with this when they took Henry the dog and Ryan with them.
No.
Yeah.
In the finale. So, and then they just conveniently disappear. So.
Again, yeah.
It happens.
It happens each time. Then they go explain.
I've got a note about that for this episode.
So you want to comment, Will, because this is where we get to the
group therapy session.
Oh, the
women's support group.
The group therapy.
The group therapy.
Their touch of humor. I guess they're trying with Gladys, one of my favorite characters. I call her the donut girl.
Yeah.
Why did she do the intro with a donut? Because I've never in my life raised a donut before they exposing my face. So that was very interesting. And then we get to hear why she's there, because she poisoned her husband for cheating on her with the babysitter.
That was really good. Yeah. And
the weights and Michelle's reaction was hilarious.
We were
talking to a pretty dark person. We didn't realize it.
Right.
You never know. You never know who you're talking to.
Yeah, I added this to your thing. Just the way she said that was like with that smile, that really goofy grin. Like, my name is Gladys, and I'm a convicted felon. All the women in unison. Hi, Gladys. It was like so funny.
Like it's a normal thing. I'm a convicted felon. All right.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this should go under Goose or not, but did anybody else notice that the group therapy session was at 3 p.m., but it's pitch black outside? Like, dark.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right, you're right.
I did not.
Well, if in California, I mean, if it's in the wintertime, it's already getting dark at 4 or 5 o'clock. It's already dark out. It's half the time. So it just clocks another hour back. Maybe time got messed up somewhere, and they've adjusted the clocks again, and it gets dark at 5 o'clock around here. It's dark. So
okay.
So I could see it didn't really bother me, because maybe they adjusted the clocks another hour ahead, and I could see it being dark that early.
Sid robbed that guy at the ATM. He's really pissed that money is the wrong color. But something should have clicked. I thought he's still not quite getting it, that they're someplace else. So I guess he didn't even think that the money could be different.
Right.
I guess. Why is it? What was it? Red or something?
Red.
I thought it was kind of purple.
Purple. Yeah, purple.
Purple, maybe.
Kind of like burgundy. Maybe burgundy.
Yeah, maybe.
So of course, Quinn's bracelet goes off. He's running in. And I wouldn't have noticed this. I was watching this with Amada again the second time. She pointed this out, that it actually did look like Wade was writing in her journal.
Oh, cool.
She was writing in a book.
Oh, okay. We finally got to see that.
We really never got that beyond the few episodes we did. So I guess I think that was her journal. What else would she be writing?
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if the
website
website
sells and get paid.
Yeah. So I guess they were trying to keep that thread going, but at some point they kind of forgot about it. But I'm not sure if that's something a lot of people have noticed when they.
No,
when
I
they
didn't
watch this
catch that.
episode. Yeah, that was
going back to. Oh, sorry. I was going to say, going back to Quinn's bracelet going off. Y'all saw his fine acting skills of pretending that the Earth was moving.
Oh,
yeah, during the earthquake. Yeah.
I'm like, good job. All right, the acting school 101.
Yeah, they're all running, and I love the way John Rhys Davies is just the way he's shouting that. He's like, "Is there a plan, Mr. Mallory, or do we just wander the streets till they catch us?" Like, wow, like so gravitas the way he says that. It's like,
oh my god. He could hurt you with his words so bad.
Yeah.
Again, why he could be Quinn's dad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
He's got that scolding fatherly tone.
Mm-hmm. And then they go into, LJ brings them into that place, and there's that sign that says, "Entering this condemned area is not a good idea."
Yes. It's all very polite for a prison.
I know.
If you're going to have a prison city, why not be polite about it? I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess we should have. I probably did suspect that LJ was going to double cross them, because it kind of seemed like he was like too eager to help, and
he did
want
to
help. They showed it
in
the first scene.
Yeah.
They showed it in the first scene when that's another thing I didn't like. It seemed like Quinn and Professor weren't doing a really good job of hiding like what was going on, because he was literally listening like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, y'all did what? Okay, let me get out of this world.
Oh, yeah, the professor's even like, keep that under your hat. We don't want anybody to know, except you, of course.
Like none of them, no one should know.
Yeah, right.
Like, oh yeah, it's all on the down low. Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, you want to back up a little bit? I gotta tell Sid something. Back up.
Yeah, exactly.
And he tells him that earlier too. He's like, don't trust or anybody.
Don't trust anybody except me, of course. Yeah.
Except me, of course. Yeah.
I mean, I'm only a prisoner.
What was he telling Quinn? He's like, I dabbled in the quantum physics or something like that, when I was wrongfully incarcerated or something like that, right?
Dabbled.
Like, sure.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
Prison's full of innocent people.
Right.
Yeah. I honestly, though, didn't remember that he got killed. Like, maybe at the end, but I didn't. There was still, I think like 10 minutes of the episode left. I didn't know he got killed. I'm like, I didn't realize that.
Like, by Michelle.
Yeah.
Michelle took him out.
Yeah.
Well, that's the point where Wade and Michelle were having that conversation about sticking your neck out for people, or was that later? Either way, she's repaid her debt to Quinn twice because she shot LJ, and later she shoots Sid, of course, and when she shoots Sid, that was after she and Wade had that conversation about sticking your neck out for someone you don't even know, because she said, well, Quinn did that for you.
Yeah.
Well, oh yeah, right.
Yeah, that's one thing I'll add about that it's not in the notes, is that she really kind of like was annoying me with how she was like, well, aren't all guys are like this? Of course they are, and Wade's like, well, not on my world or whatever, and it was something that she just almost did not want to accept, that it could be different, which I think is what annoyed me about it. But I'm trying to remember, I'm like thinking to myself, okay, this is what she knows, so it's not really her fault. I mean, obviously it's written that way, but you try to think like, why I try to think in real life. I never understand why women always defend men. If that's all they know, then
I say it happens. Yeah, it happens in real life. Yeah, you get women that they think that their fathers are that way, so they're attracted to men that are that way.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, all men are that way. Well, no, not all men are jerks, but if that's all you encounter,
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. I guess that's why it just annoyed me, because it was like, I can't stand that. Because, I mean, like I said, it's written that way. This is fiction, but like there are women that think this way. I'm like, I don't know. It's, whatever.
Well, Wade brings her around, though.
Eventually, yeah.
when they're leaving the BART station there, when they're panning to the group leaving, there's a sign that says Great Western Railway. And I expect this scene is also filmed in Vancouver, but I can't find any history of a Great Western Railway in British Columbia. The one I'm familiar with, also called the Great Western Railway, spans southwestern Ontario, like it goes right through my city of London. But if there are any railway buffs that happen to be watching this, that know the history of where that plaque might be relating to, I'd love to know that as well, because it's interesting. They really do focus on it for a minute there and then pan over. So I don't know if it was just some Easter egg or what they were trying to get at there, or if there was a Great Western Railway in California perhaps, and they just put that up to make it feel like San Francisco. I don't. Is there a railway that goes to San Francisco?
Not that I'm aware of.
I wouldn't think so.
I mean, I know there is the BART system. There is the BART system.
Yeah, but that's just the transit, area, the light transit.
But I don't know of a railway system that goes up that way.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
I know they're working on the high-speed rail eventually in like 2050 or whatever. But
Right. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I just found it curious.
Yeah.
And rewatching it, I definitely appreciate the more I watched it, the character development they gave the professor, which really makes him my favorite character. I even said in the notes that it kind of was our first sign of evil professor, because like no matter what, I mean, I know we're a little bit away from post-traumatic slide, but no matter what they say about their doubles, there's a little bit of the doubles inside of every single character. So getting to see, like, okay, when they actually do the switcheroo, like, I mean, he did show signs before, so
if it's a switcheroo, but
so I do love the attention to detail they gave Professor. So that forever he'll be my favorite character. So just see that, and I mean, it does make sense. This student, and you're the PhD holder, award-winning. I'm assuming award-winning professor, and he creates multidimensional travel. Like, what? Wait, what? Like, I should have been me, So I'm sure even with the first slide, there was a little jealousy inside of him. So to see that as they travel more and they get closer, but at the same time, just like any even family, brother, sister, father, son, there's a little separation of like, all right, we've been traveling a long time, but actually, don't get beside yourself. I'm still the professor.
Well, going back to the whole hubris thing. I mean, I think the professor has a lot of that, and it's a strike to his ego that this kid that he taught did something that he couldn't do.
Right.
So there's always to be that little bit of jealousy and why couldn't I have done that?
Right. Definitely.
Yeah, this was very clearly setting up that episode.
Right.
I think when this aired, it was like 3 episodes away from that, because this is actually the 5th one that aired, and then PTSS, as we call it, is like number 8, but it's like the 10th that they've produced or something. So it's a little further down that they produced it, but right down to the idea that Quinn is suggesting that Arturo's, you're gonna claim sliding as your own and take the credit, and like.
He even said it like, I'm gonna perfect it, and
like,
I mean, I was like, wait, are you acting? I would have been like, wait, are we still acting? Wait.
Just knowing what future episodes entailed, you knew that the professor wasn't actually going to trade them in here for his own life and just be written out of the show, but but not if you didn't know that. It was a very convincing act that he was giving up the rest of his team to save his life to hand over the sliding technology. But
down to the dramatic pause.
Yes,
when he said, "You're just gonna let us die?" He's like, "I'm truly sorry."
Yeah.
Wait, are we acting? Like, wait a minute, hold up. You really? I'm confused. Because he's not supposed to be an actor in the show, so
that's right.
Really
yes.
think of Jerry? Was Jerry O'Connell overacting there a little bit when he's yelling at him?
Oh yeah,
from the prison.
Yeah. I was like, hey man, you're doing too much.
Was Jerry overacting or was Quinn overacting?
Quinn overacting.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like,
Little column A,
maybe
little column B.
dial
Yeah.
down a little. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, even in like Mike, when we were talking about Time Again in World, like that's how that began with Arturo having resentment toward him, like,
Right.
oh, we wouldn't be in this mess because of that boy or whatever. So,
Yes.
like I said, they use these first few episodes, even if they're not in, even if the air date is not matching up in this production order, like Time Again in World was first, this was second. So it's like they were trying to set this up right from the
Yeah.
beginning.
Right.
So I do appreciate that they were still trying, even though they kind of knew it was pointless. Like they knew it was coming. So
Right.
I guess we're getting to the end. I guess we didn't give Sid enough credit. He actually was he was kind of smart enough to kind of what's the word I'm looking for?
He somehow weaseled his way
blanking.
out of getting killed by
Right.
holding a hostage at the ATM, and
Yeah,
he must have smooth talked Leo into, hey,
Yeah.
they've got this technology, and for some reason everyone believes
Yeah.
that this technology is real and exists. Like the people in the underground bunker
Everyone
there
believed him.
were willing to trade for it, and then Leo was willing to do this interrogation. It's there was with all the extra filler they had, they could have filled us in on this a bit more maybe
Yeah.
after, but I guess you
Mhm.
have to leave
Yeah.
some things to the imagination. But
Mhm.
but yeah, the fact that he gets
Yeah, that's
gets back into the jail cell and then has another brawl with again with Quinn and Rembrandt.
Yeah.
That's when he meets his doom. I wasn't expecting him to also get killed. I thought they would just leave him stranded on this prison world. And
Well, I did remember that. I
Yeah.
remember that
Yeah.
that he
well,
got
see, I
killed,
have
yeah.
zero recollection of this, so this
right.
it was all new to me. But
Yeah.
it's possible I didn't see it in the original run. But,
Oh, okay.
Interesting that, like I said earlier, Michelle ends up saving Quinn and by shooting her
Mhm.
supposed boyfriend and then
Right.
escaping with them, which leaves another burning question that never gets revealed. Is, I guess, again, you need your own headcanon. What happens to her after they slide? We just next episode
Yeah, in fact,
they're somewhere else without her and never to be mentioned again.
Yeah, I had to watch the beginning of the next episode to find out whether they can. I don't remember them having her with them.
Nope.
I'm watching to see.
They don't.
Yeah, she's not mentioned. She's not seen. They're not,
No.
They do
So
that
somewhere
quite a
along
bit.
the way, they dropped her off
Yeah.
somewhere in the multiverse.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Have they done that at least once per season? Because I feel like they did. I know they did it in the third season. I know I'm not going to bring it up, but I know they did it in the third season.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But evil Quinn, female Quinn. But yeah,
Oh,
it's like I think that was I remember the third season.
Oh, yeah.
Fourth season, I can't remember, but I was wondering if they did it every because it just feels like they do it, set it up, and then never mention them.
Well, what you were talking about, Will, is Double Cross. I
Double Cross.
It's basically the season premiere for season 3, which I think they wanted to do something with, and then that, of course, again,
Never.
Fox, they didn't.
I
follow
will
through with
find
that.
y'all. No, you won't.
No.
Another
Another unresolved plot line. that
No,
could have
you
gone
won't.
somewhere.
We're never gonna mention you again.
Yeah, but in terms of like these random people, like
Yeah.
the only it's going to happen again really soon. So
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it happens.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
But the only other thing is, I mean, at least with Ryan, they kind of said he'd just stay behind.
Mhm.
So
Which is weird to me.
Yep.
yeah.
It's a parallel
I
world.
don't know what world they're on. It's like you're going to spend the rest of your life there, basically, in this completely these new rules that you don't know anything about this world. I mean, I don't know. It seems a bit irresponsible.
Definitely. They should just not did it. I feel like just don't do the plot.
Yeah.
You're not gonna want to explain to us.
Yeah. I'm getting the impression that was supposed to be the big one, like that's conveniently hitting just as they left, and they're just focusing on everything crashing around them and the lights going out, and I'm like, is that the one they're talking about that's finally hitting?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I assumed, because they kept mentioning it, and they're ending on the. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Very convenient.
Yeah.
As they slide out.
Right.
As always.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, anything else that we didn't cover here that you guys could think of that you wanted to bring up? Or
I guess I was thinking about it as y'all were talking, and probably gonna lower my rating at the end now. Thanks a lot, guys.
You have to lower it.
I get it. They gotta be dramatic, but you would think they would be a little more safeguarding with that timer. I think like four people touched that thing in this episode. I'm like, y'all don't want to hide that under the mattress, or like that's pretty important. Why is that timer so easily taken away from them almost every episode?
As also the first time we've seen Arturo kind of do something with it and press a button, and it's just like, now it doesn't work.
Yeah. Who did this? You reconfigured, and then I was oh, that was pretty cool.
Like, what did he put it in sleep mode? Like, what did he do there?
Yeah, not sure.
I mean, it's a Nokia phone, so was it a Nokia phone actually? I can't remember. What was it? I think that's what it was. I can't remember.
Like that,
yeah. Something. So maybe they just pressed the sleep mode.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wish they would. And like I said, I get drama. They gotta have dramatic, but it just feels like everybody had their hands on this one. I'm like, guys, that's kind of important. You might want to figure out a better way to keep that safe.
All right. Well, nothing else.
If that's it, I guess want to move on to the goofs. Then, Will, you've got a collection of goofs for us here.
Oh yeah. The first one, I think I probably cheated on this one, but it was I think I saw it on IMDb, but also I noticed that the very first second I saw it, when the second chess player saying what, like when LJ said, "What's that?" and then the second chess player turn around, looking directly at the wormhole, saying what? I'm like, you didn't notice that thing? Yeah, that big swirling thing. If I was LJ, I'd be like, the big swirling thing.
Yeah,
that's what it was. But yeah.
Yeah.
I mentioned this already. I put on alive, but because I didn't know if you could say the killed word on YouTube. I don't know, YouTube be tripping sometimes. He didn't do a very good job hiding the blinking red light. It was kind of obvious there, brother. You want to hide that?
Yeah, the guy. Yeah.
When the court scene, basketball court scene, when Rembrandt took the knife, the custodian looking directly at him. The guy got killed for a curfew. Wouldn't think Rembrandt get killed for holding a knife?
Holding it up right in front of him, like
yeah.
Look, did he take that knife, dude? He didn't give it back to him, right?
He didn't give it back. He
didn't give it back.
I don't think he gave it back.
No,
he took it with him.
Yeah.
He did this number. He did this number and then walked over.
Right.
Yeah.
And the custodian looking right at him. I'm like, shouldn't he be shot?
Right.
They don't have a problem. They're fine of people who's holding a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we mentioned the other goofs, the wormhole staying open too long, and then Quinn should have passed out.
Right.
How long Sid was holding him. So. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you had some of these lines here. That is a good line. That the first one that you had.
Yeah.
Where
I wish I could do like Professor, but don't expect any sympathy. If you use your brain, we wouldn't be in this mess. You and your misguided sense of bravado.
Yeah.
Everybody was beating up on Quinn this episode.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It felt like this was like a hate on Quinn. It was that show. Everyone hates Chris. This is everyone hates Quinn, because it was Sid. Rembrandt probably, if he had time. And that's something else, I guess, like mentioned. I feel like Rembrandt and Wade didn't have much. I guess Wade had Michelle, but I feel like they were kind of took a back seat to the episode.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know if Jeffrey's presence kind of caused them to take a back seat. It's just like any ensemble cast. If there's too many, sometimes the characters, and unfortunately, I feel like Rembrandt and Wade kind of took a back seat to this episode.
This has come up a lot with Sabrina Lloyd. It seems like she should be having more to do at this point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I know there's going to be some episodes that are really centric around her. So I mean,
yeah, definitely worse when Maggie got there. So
I mean, I got used to her, but
yeah, I got used to it. But yeah, I mean,
I know. Well,
Sabrina Lloyd was basically invisible when she got on there. Unfortunately,
well, we will definitely. Yeah, it'll be a while before we get there. But
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this I said LJ. This is Prison Man. I mean, we mentioned this one when he said it was the San Francisco National Penitentiary. I remember being scared. Like I said, I was pretty young.
Mm-hmm.
Think about I'm in here in Texas, where my whole state was a prison. Pretty scary, at a very young age. So more of a nostalgic feeling when he said that. And we mentioned this one, Mr. Mallory's penchant for quixotic. What is it?
Oh,
no, it must have been a typo.
His penchant for the chaotic rescue. Yeah,
chaotic rescue was it?
Yeah.
It got changed on my type.
That's fine.
Texting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
At this point, I was just like, especially at that age, was he just making up words? I was like, yeah, and then of course Gladys. I got 35 for life for poisoning my husband really because he cheated on me with it.
Yeah, that was really good.
The looks afterwards, I probably would look at her the same, like, yeah, can we have a different group therapy?
She did look like when they're telling her, now remember, we do not blame the victim, and she's like,
yes.
Like looking at that look. You're right.
That was a quick change. Mm-hmm. Like, you're next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do we want to move on to final thoughts and our ratings?
Yeah. You and me, Mike, we might be the lowest. I don't know what you.
Well, let's start with our guest.
Rating than us, Aaron. So.
Yeah. What's your rating out of 10, Aaron? And final thoughts, if there are any.
As far as final thoughts, I thought it was a great episode. I really enjoyed it. Like I say, especially coming back to it after having seen Jeffrey Dean Morgan, as Negan, and then seeing him this, I'm like, okay, I can see a little bit of pre-Negan here.
Mm-hmm.
I can see this character becoming Negan in another world or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I can definitely see that, and it just brought. I think because again, I'd forgotten about this because I'd seen it in years. But yeah, when I rewatched it, I'm like, okay, I remember. Yeah, I remember this now, and okay, I can see how he becomes that character can become Negan. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
As far as my rating, I would probably give it 8.5 prison cities out of 10.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Like I said, I think I'm gonna lower it a little bit, not extreme. I feel like, unfortunately, they dumbed down the characters just so they can have a plot, and I didn't like that. After the rewatch from Quinn, I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like maybe the direction could have been flipped, where it was Wade that rescued maybe a female biker gang or something like that, and because I feel like that's more what Wade would have done to me, just based off the first season. I mean, if we follow in order, I mean, she was the first one to. She's usually the one that jumps. Like we need to do. Everyone else is kind of like, we don't know this world. Let's, So I feel like it could have been more of a. And it would give a chance for Wade to, have an episode,
right.
If it was more of like maybe a female biker gang that she stopped. And now this girl is tagging her and they, trying to protect Wade and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I just felt like Quinn got dumbed down. Professor got dumbed down, explaining the plot too early and the timer and everything. It just seemed like they just to have a plot. I feel like they dumbed down the characters and that was unfortunate. So I'll probably give it 8 geodesic domes out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, David.
You and Mike were kind of the same.
Yeah. I don't know if I have any further final thoughts. I feel like I covered that in the outset, but overall a good episode.
Yeah.
Solid showing. I give it 7.5 leather jackets out of 10.
Yep. And yeah, and yeah, like again, like don't really need to, you know, like repeat myself. You know, like it was a good episode, decent one. I think we were talking about just some of the like the pacing with it, and like you said, some of it seemed a little bit like filler, or there could have been more that was explained in some situations. It's not quite an original idea. It's, as I said, it's that escape from New York scenario. It's like it's sort of an early indication of them starting to just take ideas and putting sliders into it. It's still good. It works. It makes sense. But but for all that, I'll give it 7.5 earthquakes out of 10.
All right.
All right.
Well,
I guess
thanks,
that's it.
everybody. Yeah. Next up in our production order is Love Gods, where we will be joined once again by Jan Fennick. So please be sure to like and subscribe. Share your opinions on the episode in the comments below. We will do a roundup in future videos. And in the meantime, you can also visit our website, fandomentanglement.com. You can drop us an email, fandom.entanglement@gmail.com. You can visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/fandomentanglement. And we are also on the Blue Sky, fandomentanglement.bsky.social. So once again, thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Will, for joining us. It was great having this discussion with you both.
Awesome time.
Yeah.
Awesome time. Appreciate it.
Have you both back on again soon.
Always enjoy talking sliders. Always enjoy appearing on someone else's show, so you can do all the hard work. I just sit up and talk. Let them do all the editing. I got enough crap to edit.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I'm changing up what I'm doing a little bit because I got a little behind, then I got sick, so I'm like, okay, I need to change what I'm doing here. I'm the one doing all the work, editing and stuff like that. Anyway, yeah, and thank you, Will. Thank you, Aaron.
Appreciate it.
Nice meeting you, Will.
Great time. Nice to meet you, Aaron.
Yeah, nice meeting you, Will. So I'm Damon.
Yeah, and I'm Mike.
And you guys,
awkward pause.
And I will. Sorry.
That's fine. All right, we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.
Keep sliding.
Bye-bye.
Keep on sliding.